Hey friends, how are we? It has been a hot minute, it feels like. I hope everyone is doing well. So, as you come on, as always, say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I got a little sidetracked. I was busy shoveling, about a foot of snow that we got last night off, and it was wet, so it was heavy. So, I got a couple workouts today, and then I decided I wanted to go for my walk. And so I walked through the snow that the plow comes through the main road that we're on. And so all the snow is right like pushed to the sides. And so I'm trying to walk and trudge through to get up to the sidewalk where it's cleared off. Yeah, it was pretty comical. So I will be taking a very hot soak after this with some Epsom salts because your girl is probably going to be like, ow, by tomorrow. So I already feel it. And I did chest and back today after shoveling. So it was a double whammy, but that's okay. I'm here. I'm present and I'm excited. And I would love for you to drop too in the chat, whether this is live or on replay. If it's replay, please put hashtag replay so I know who's watching. And then I would love for you to share a win from your week. I don't care if it's huge or if it's tiny, whatever it is to you that is a win. I would love to hear it. Put it in the group. And I do want to do some shout outs today. We are on day 29 of the 31-day push-up challenge. You guys are just killing it. And I wanted to give a huge shout out. Some that's really stood out to me has been Heather, Miss Heather Larson. She has went on vacation for 12 days and she was still doing her push-ups, even on the beach. She got them done. And she has accomplished doing 10 push-ups on her toes in a row. So she has broke her record and she has gotten stronger over these 29 days. So big shout out, and I would love to hear your story, your successes, your wins from the challenge if you've been participating. What have you noticed? Have you been able to do a push up on your toes that you haven't been able to before? Or maybe you've been doing those, but you tried some of the different variations and you're like, whoa, I could do those because maybe you thought that you couldn't, but you realize that you are stronger than you realize. So I would love to hear that. But a huge shout out to you, Heather. You are kicking butt, girl. We have some history. We met years ago when I started a coaching program with someone she works with. We met that way and we've kept in touch, and just seeing her journey, it's you're doing amazing, girl. I love it. I'm so glad to be connected to you and just to watch how you've grown and evolved. So kudos to you, girl. Keep going. You're doing amazing. So today is all about sharing with you how I get myself back on track in hopes that it's going to bless you and encourage you and give you some practical steps that you can take if you feel like, girl, I'm still going in the fridge late at night and scrubbing up on those leftovers and all the things holiday still. Okay? There's no judgment, but if you realize like, hey, I need to stop this, it's time to switch gears and get back on track, this training is going to help you do that. Okay? So, first thing is, I still have some leftovers in my fridge. So, leftovers from the meal, but also some sweets leftover. I love to bake during the holidays, and I always make chocolate chip cookie dough truffles, and we do brown sugar fudge and white chocolate peppermint bark because that's my son's favorite. Now, the funny part is my son barely touched the white chocolate peppermint bark, so it's still up in the fridge. Now, I don't necessarily care for that, so I won't eat it. It's not a temptation for me. With the chocolate chip cookie dough truffles, they real good, girls. They real good. They go down even easier. But so those are something that are still in my fridge. The other thing I had was I made for my first time, a cheesecake, and it was a cinnamon roll cheesecake. And that tasted like a cinnamon roll for sure. It was delicious. I had to try it, and I tried it again and again and again and again and again. Now, what I realized through this, as I was stuffing myself with this cheesecake, I was good and only had the one slice at a time per day, even though I wanted 2 or 3, because the sugar addiction is real. So if you find you have something, you're like, I want more, it's not so that you want more. Your brain chemistry has been altered. The sugar is now taking over and running the show, or trying to, and you get to choose, say, you know what, I already had this slice and I ate it all and I loved it. I'm good for today. So part of this is going to be stepping into the self-control that you have within you, because it's in you because you have the Holy Spirit within you who produces the self-control. So, but you have to choose it. So with that, some of the things we can do practically is to get back on track is we toss away those things that we know self-control is very challenging. And we know if we've had a rough day, or if the kids didn't sleep, or we're kind of irritated, we got a lot to do, we're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, that we reach for it. We turn into emotional eating. If you know that's you, get rid of it. Okay. Now I know sometimes when I say get rid of it, throw it away, that can make your heart leap or your stomach leap a little bit because you were taught don't waste, right? I was clean your plate, girl. But if we're afraid to throw something away, if we feel like we're being wasteful, then we're in the mindset believing that there's not enough for everybody. And there is more than enough. Because God didn't say, oh, I'm only going to get this much food on this earth while they live there. No. There is always more than enough for everyone. So yours doesn't take away from mine, and mine doesn't take away from yours. So get rid of it. Get rid of what is not going to serve you, what you know is a challenge for you with the foods. Get it out of the house. Okay? The other thing is to watch your starches. All your potatoes, your pastas, all those things, I would encourage you to get rid of them. Give yourself a little bit of a detox or a reset without having them, because starches, especially at night, is when we typically have them, right? Not in the daytime where we can use the energy, but at night, and those starches turn to sugar. Okay, the sugars then turn to fat because we're not exercising and being really active at night after dinner, and that's when we don't use the energy. It gets stored. Any excess that we don't have that we can store in our muscle gets stored as fat. So to get myself back on track, I have to watch that. I have potatoes in my fridge I need to toss and get rid of, because typically I want to eat them at night because we get a little craving happening. Our brain's like, give me something, and starches will satisfy that because they are higher in sugar. So clear out your fridge. I do. I go in there. Today is going to be clean out day for me after I take my hot soak. It's going to go in the fridge. I'm tossing all the things. Don't need them anymore. You can take like your meats. If you have ham or turkey, you could always put them in a frozen, or not frozen, but a freezer bag, right? Put them in your freezer. Okay? And then you can portion them out. You can divide it up into meal sizes and then put it in a larger freezer bag so you can pull it out for meals, throughout the months. Okay? So you have that access. You're not necessarily wasting. But for the potatoes, the side dishes, right, we can get rid of them. We can toss them. The candies, the sugars, again, toss it. We've had our fill. We're like, how many days post Christmas now, right? New Year's is coming. Just because we have New Year's doesn't mean we have to go overboard. So clear out your fridge and then focus on whole foods. This is something I really try to do. Am I getting my vegetables in? Am I getting some fruits in that are lower in sugar? Am I getting protein in? Am I getting quality whole food sources versus out of a box, can, bag, or frozen department? So getting that in and really focusing on whole foods, and then supplementing if you need to supplement with protein powders, collagen, all the things. I do use those myself. Totally fine. But getting the whole foods in first to help your body, your systems reset, your intestines, your liver, your kidneys, all the extra foods maybe you had over Christmas that you don't typically eat. Your body does need a reset. So I will share with you too. I have a couple options to support you in that if you're needing some support with the nutrition as well as the physical fitness, which I'll talk about at the end. But focus on the whole foods. That is something that's really helped me out, because when you're focused on that, you're not thinking about the other things that you've been having more of over the holidays, the candies, the cakes, and all the things. So when you focus on that, there's less room for the not so nutritious food. Okay, it doesn't mean you can't have it, right? But you're not having as much of it. I was watching actually a reel last night. One gal I follow on Instagram, her name's Erin Opria, and she has worked with a lot of singers, movie stars, and the like, mostly singers there in Nashville. And she shared on her reel that her husband gets these dark chocolate salted caramel squares at Costco. I mean, they're like, I don't know, like that big. That one little square will last her 3 days. I'm sorry, what? It's chocolate. You can literally have the self-control to take a bite for 3 days. So I'm just telling you, I'm very competitive. And I saw them like, if she can do it, guess what? I can do that with my chocolate chip cookie dough truffles. So I am challenging myself with the rest of the chocolate chip cookie dough truffles that are left for me only to take a bite out of it and for it to last me 3 days. So who's with me on trying that? Like if you have something like chocolate bars, right? Have just one little tiny itsy bitsy square that is equivalent to like a bite. Who wants to do that with me? That has a chocolate addiction, fetish, whatever you like to call it. I much prefer chocolate, dark chocolate. I can't do milk very well at all. I like dark. But I'm like, I'm going to try that. And that's a great way, again, to allow yourself to have something you enjoy, right? Without going overboard. But if, again, it is a food or a treat that you know, girl, once it touches my tongue, it's done. I eat the whole thing. Don't have it in the house. Toss it. That goes in the toss. Okay. And the number one, to toss it out. The number two is clear your fridge. Number three, focus on whole foods. Number four, limit the sugar, which again is having little bites. So I recognized when I was having my cheesecake, I could have only had 2 or 3 bites and been done, but I ate my whole slice, right? I allowed myself. But looking back, I see how going forward, I can make different choices. Because right now for me, I'm going to be going into more of a leaning out stage, because I've never really intentionally done it. So part of me is like, yeah, I really don't want to. But the other part of me is like, I feel this pull, I feel this draw to be more intentional in certain areas of my nutrition. So after the first year, I actually have some things I'm going to be removing from my diet because of food sensitivities. I did a test and it had a whole bunch on there. So the doctor recommends to remove it for 60 days to let the body reset and reboot, and then slowly introduce certain ones, which some of them I already knew or had a feeling. So I will be doing that myself to really give my body the ability to reset and reboot. So, and allow any inflammation or excess inflammation, some body fat to slither off of me, because I got enough to keep myself insulated, So if you know you're sensitive to foods and you've had them, maybe you decide to have some over the holidays, something to again get away from, to allow your body to reset, is a great way to get back on track. Again, the idea of getting back on track means we're focusing on whole foods, we're limiting the sugar, and we're eating the foods we know that nourish us, and we're not consuming as much of the foods that we know that hinder us or make us bloated, crave, the less than good foods for us, okay? Because a lifestyle doesn't mean you can't have anything that you enjoy. It just means you're eating it in a way that supports you, that allows you to have the capacity, the energy, the body, the health, the vitality that you desire, not be hindered. Okay, we're not perfect in this. I'm not perfect, far from it, but I am committed and I am progressive with it. So 4, limit the sugar. Okay, try that challenge. Let me know if you want to do that challenge. Drop below challenge. Okay, try that challenge. And so you don't have the whole thing. And the less sugar we take in a day, the less that we're going to have that addiction try to take over, okay? Because our brain chemistry gets altered with sugar, okay? That processed refined sugar. I personally swap out my cane sugar with coconut sugar. It's lower on the glycemic index, so it's not such a big shock to your system, and it does not spike the insulin levels, okay? Which then creates the cravings, and then again initiates you storing fat, okay? In your body holding onto, because it goes into fight or flight, okay? So the 5th thing that I do to get back on track, this kind of is going to go in that physical fitness area, is I move each day. Whether it's a walk, whether it's a dedicated workout, whether it's a hike, I move my body. It is a non-negotiable. I don't care if it's the holidays. We got, like I said, a foot of snow. When it was negative, whatever. Only time I have not been outside for a walk in the almost 2 years I've been here is when we were like negative 50 with wind chill, and there was a severe warning for frostbite in 5 minutes. I was like, fine. And I went stir crazy. That was for a 24-hour period. And that was very hard for me. I was like going up and down my stairs, my basement, upstairs, jump roping. I love being outside. I need that. That is how I connect with the Lord. That's how I connect. And I need that movement. So I have a commitment to myself that I move every day. Period. The end. There is no if, ands, or buts. Only way I'm not, again, is if it's below 50, I'm on my deathbed or someone else has died. That's about it. Or I have diarrhea. That would be a problem, right? So I have a commitment to myself. And that's the biggest thing, is going into these holidays is really to decide and commit what are your non-negotiables. You can have them. You can have those healthy boundaries put in place for yourself when it comes to your movement, your physical fitness, your mental health, your emotional health, and your nutrition. How are you going to support yourself? Because what you put into your body, it comes out. And I mean, in regards to your mood, your attitude, your emotions, food directly impacts your emotions because it changes your body's chemistry. Because what you think, you feel. What you feel, you act out. Okay, so just be mindful of that. And if you start watching how when you eat certain foods, like you might have a friend. I have a girlfriend. I love her to death. And I remember one day we were at the zoo with our kids, and she had sugar. I forgot what it was. I was like, and then literally within a few minutes, she was like, I'm like, oh my God. I was like, you have a huge sensitivity to sugar. Like, she becomes very hyperactive. And it was so funny to watch and see. I was like, wow, I've never seen such a visceral reaction to sugar. So certain foods will make you act a different way. So it's really watching that. And the biggest thing I love to do is, because I know it helps me. I don't necessarily, I should say I love to do it, but my body does. And I know it's good for me and it sets me up for success for the rest of the year. Is, I've shared this before, is I do a detox and a reset, every quarter. Because again, holidays come in, maybe I'm getting busy or I'm not as intentional in my eating. And then I realize I'm having these foods come in on a more regular basis that aren't serving me the processed, the refined sugars, the sugar, and it's becoming a daily versus every once in a while type of thing. And so I'm like, oh, it's time. It's taking over again. So I want to share a couple of things that can help you on this journey of really getting back on track to have this supplemental thing to help. So a couple different ways to access these. So one is the 14-day whole food reset, or the sugar detox. And this is self-paced. This is something you're able to get and own for life. It's going to give you 3 different trainings, as well as everything you need to set you up for success, what you're focusing on and what you're letting go of for these 14 days. So your brain and body can reset, reboot, and then you're going to rid yourselves of those cravings. Your brain fog is going to be going away. You're going to have more energy and vitality. You're going to be slimming down. You're going to be getting rid of the inflammation, the belly bloat, the belly fluff. You're going to notice a significant difference in just 14 days by adhering to eating and focusing on whole foods. Okay, so that's one way. And then for your physical fitness, you're like, Carrie, I really need to get back on the wagon of getting that done. I have 2 different tracks there. It's a 30-day fitness challenge, and it gives you everything you need. For those 30 days, you need minimal equipment, usually weights and maybe some mini bands. But most can be done with just a pair of dumbbells. You could also use some things around your house. And you have 2 different tracks there. There's a re-intro to strength training. So if it's been a while, you're like, I need to get back to this and start back in again progressively. The beginner track is a great fit for you. And if you're like, hey, I want to amp it up and go, then my intermediate to advanced 30-day fitness challenge is for you. And it definitely gives you 5 to 6 days a week where you can pick from, plug it in, get your workout in. You have the videos, the tutorials, the scheduling, everything you need, including your recovery days, to allow you to progressively get stronger, more fit, and tone up and slim down. Okay, so the other option you have, if you want just the nutrition, if you want just the fitness, or combining the 2, the bundle. So the fitness program and the detox, the 14-day detox, are each of $127. But if you want to do the bundle, both of them together, you get them for $197 together. So you're going to save over $50 on that. So if you're interested in either of those, just to get yourself back on track with some help and some support there, you definitely can do that. You have access to me through our Facebook group here with any questions in either of those programs to get you going and to support you through that time frame. So let me know. You can say detox, fitness program, or bundle in the comments below, or DM that to me, and I'll be able to send you the link with some more information on that, so you can get it and get going. So let me know if you have questions. I hope this has helped you. This is really what's helped me. I did almost cry when I threw out my cinnamon roll cheesecake, because I know I could keep going and going and going, but I knew it was done. I've had it for 4 days. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, but again, I could always make it again. I got rid of it because I would overindulge. So that was my kryptonite, if you will. So I got rid of it and tossed it. But the good thing is it turned out. So I'm like, hey, I can totally make this again. And the cookie dough truffles, I'm going to be doing that challenge. So let me know if you're up with that challenge with me, where you're going to take just a little bite over a couple of days, right? And again, one thing that is really working on the self-control and letting it be produced within me. And 2 is challenge myself. Can I do it? So for me, it's not going to be a pass or fail. It's more for me to be in a mindset of progressing and challenging myself to see where I'm at. That's all it is for me. And then eliminating the foods that I know, forget it, I'll eat mindlessly and keep going. And then allow myself, again, to get those whole foods in. One thing I love to do is make a whole food smoothie. I will take spinach and rice cauliflower, some zucchini or squash, chop it up, a little bit of avocado, just a little bit of healthy fat, so like a thumb size, of avocado, and then frozen bananas, some frozen blueberries, maybe a little bit of unsweetened raw cacao in there, like a tablespoon. And then if you have protein powder or some collagen in there, maybe a little sprinkle of either raw honey or pure maple syrup, just a little bit, maybe a teaspoon. Blend that up with some ice. Boom. You have like 3 to 4 servings of vegetables right there. And then you have another couple servings of fruit, whole food, protein, carbohydrates, healthy fats. You're good. A whole meal in one. Lower calorie and more nutrient dense for you. So that's something that I live by. I've gotten away from it for a while, so I'm going to be getting back into it. And I try to do that at least, every day because I make sure I get my veggies in. So I'm, again, focusing on the whole foods and to get your body moving, get the sugar out of your house, out of your plain sight. I know you probably got kids, a hubby. Just put it somewhere you're not going to see. It's not your eye level. I bought these, what is it, like at Trader Joe's, they have like these chocolate almond, what is it? It's almost like almond roca, but it's Trader Joe's brand. So I still have some left from my charcuterie board that I made. So I put it up above where it's out of my line of sight. So I don't have to see them, because if I see them, I will eat them. That's just me. So what are you going to put into practice to get yourself back on track? Are you going to try some of these tips that I use? Are you going to get one of the programs that I shared with you? How are you going to do it? How are you going to get back on track? I want to know. So let's keep this conversation going. You got questions, drop them here. Make sure you tag me because I don't see all notifications because Facebook doesn't always send them. So I hope this has blessed you. Have yourself we almost have the new year, huh? Tomorrow, though, don't forget, we have our meet and greet happy hour. Doesn't mean you have to drink alcohol. I just preached about sugar, right? Again, if you want some, drink some. I'm probably going to bring a hot cup of my healthy hot cocoa and a bottle of ice water to our meet and greet. So it's going to be at 5 o'clock on Zoom. The event is posted in our group. So grab a friend, tag them, invite them to the group if they're not in there so they can join us and we can catch up and meet some new friends and catch up with some old friends. So we will see you then.